Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Ollie. Today we are making a lasagna. Alright, let's take a little look at the ingredients that we got here for today. So, we got some mixed vegetables right here. Very tasty, very nice. We got some olive oil, of course, for in the pan in a bit. Then we have, let me just put that aside so you can see it. We have our ingredients for the sauce right here. And then also for the blades, so these are the lasagna blades, so to call them. So those we are gonna need. We got some veggie meat. Of course, you can use usual meat as well. We use veggie meat around here. We got some milk, and we have a bit of cheese. The one that is already like in little snippets, so to say. So yeah, what we're gonna start out with, we have already washed our vegetables a little bit, so. You have to do that, but we won't have to do that right now because we already did it. But you want to wash them off a little bit, and once they are all nice and clean, you're gonna start putting some fire on the pitch and putting those vegetables into the pan. So here we have our beautiful pan. We're gonna put on the fire. Boom, there we go. We're gonna take the lid off for now, and you know how we do things around here. We're gonna start off with some olive oil. There we go, some olive oil, and we're gonna put that straight into the pan. There we go. Of course, a healthy amount in here. There, that is about right. And then you want to put up the heat a little bit and let that just, go around a little bit. Just give it a hot second, and then you want to add in the vegetables here. So, yeah, we'll do. All right, there we go. The olive oil has spread all over the pan here, so that's good. We're gonna put the fire down just a little bit, and here we have our mixed vegetables, and we're just gonna add that in there. Boom, there we go. And just like any old vegetables, you wanna stir this around a little bit and let it, solder a bit. So you want the most of the moistiness to come out of it. And once that is the case, you can put the lid on it, and then you can move on. But we're gonna put back up the heat a little bit, to around halfway here. And then I have my little spoon. I'm just gonna mix it around a little bit, make sure all of it is covered in a bit of that oil that we put in there. Of course, while doing this, you wanna, move it around a little bit. Use your spoon, use your hand, just to make sure it doesn't sit still the whole time. You don't need to pay too much attention here, just a little looksy and a little whoopsie every now and then. Alright, so we have now reached the point. I don't know how much you can see that, but this is what it should look like, and I will get close with my microphone here. That's what it should sound like. I hope you heard that, I don't know. But anyway, once it's at this stage right here, you can put the heat back down all the way to 1. And put that lid on there and just let that solder a little bit. And while this is, doing its thing, we're gonna move back over all the way here, and we're gonna start making a little bit of the mixture. Not the whole mixture just yet, but the beginning parts of it, so to say. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what we're gonna start out with first is actually putting in half a liter of water. So we're just gonna have it here. And there we go. It's around half a liter. Let's see. Yeah, I would say that's pretty perfect. All right, nice. And so then here we have our milk as well, and we want to fill it up until it's at 1 liter. So we're gonna add half a liter of milk in there. So we're gonna open this bad boy up. There we go, and just slowly pour it in there. As I said, all the way to 1 liter total. Boom. Oh, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Nice, that's all we need to do with the mixture for right now. In a second we're gonna add in, the sauce package that we got here as well. But we're not gonna do that just yet because this stuff likes to sink to the bottom a little bit, and we don't want to have that. So we're just gonna wait with putting that in. That's a little Ollie tip right there for you, for the smart people. Anyway, what we're gonna do now is wait a little bit on the vegetables, and in a second we're gonna add in some meat to them. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. So in the meantime, you can put up the heat a little bit higher again with the vegetables as well. Make sure to stir them up every now and then, with the spoon, with your hand, as I said before, basically the same principle. You just mix it a little bit, and then when you're like, yeah, this is going good, you add the lid back on there. You just wait a little bit. Just just have a little wait. Alright, so it's now about time. It was like maybe 1 minute that went by. It doesn't need to take all that long. I'm gonna now open up the meat package here. There we go. Boom. We're gonna take back off our lid. You know, that's an important step here. And then you add in that meat into the vegetable pan. So there we go. Of course, we want every little particle. There we go. Put that back, and of course we want to start stirring this up nicely here, that it's all nice and mixed. There we go. Now during this process, the heat stays at the same pitch, so to say. So you don't put it lower or higher. Just mix and mang it all nicely until you're thinking, well, this looks perfectly mixed. So we're gonna keep on doing this for a little while here. And there we go. I would say this is quite well mixed. I'm actually even a little bit proud here. So yeah, you want to take the heat and keep the heat at the same point right now. You put back on the lid. There we go. Alright, so while that is doing its thing, we're gonna now put in that holy mixture that I was talking about before. So we got this little bag. Of course, you don't want any of it to be at the top here. So there we go. And then you just, let's see. Then you just add all of this slowly into the mixture you made before with the milk and the water. Make sure the whole bag goes in, of course. Oh, alright, there we go. It's now all in there. You can see the bag is empty. So we're just gonna throw that away. There we go. And then I have my little stir thing here. Yes, we got a new one. No, I did not break the old one. That just happened to happen, okay? So we got a new one here. And now we're gonna, you know, mix this all up a little bit. And make sure that it's all the same substance, so to say. Alright, there we go. So important here is that you basically don't have any real chunks left in there. That's of course the most important part. You don't want chunky bits in your food. So this is looking pretty good to me. We're gonna go back to our pan here. Let's make a little room. Take back off the lid. There we go. And ooh, would you look at that. And we're just gonna add in the mixture to the vegetables and the meat that we got here. So there we go. Of course, just like with the spaghetti sauce, make sure it's all nicely spread it out. There we go, and look at that. That is a pan that is quite full. And since there's a little bit of mixture left in there, a little struggler, we're gonna just add in a bit of water with this, like not too much, and just add that in there as well, you know, make sure all the tasty bits are in there. And there we go, now it's all nicely mixed. Right, so now you want to once again stir it up. Of course, this thing is quite filled, so make sure no parts go, you know, over the edge here. Quite a difficult task, if you were to ask me. Yeah, you just want to stir it up a little bit like so. And then once you're thinking, well, this is quite good mixed, you put back on the lid once again. So what we gotta do now is wait for this to boil. So we're just gonna let it sit there and watch carefully as it starts boiling. So and while we do this, you also want to stir it up every now and then a little bit as well. So I think this is a good moment, just a little stir. Now it might look like some good soup right now, and that's because it kind of is. But hey, you know what they say: the best lasagnas only come from the best soups. A little thing I like to do while that is, you know, starting to boil. I'm still keeping a close eye on it. Don't be worried. What we're gonna do now is already take the lasagna blades that we got here out of the package and just put them nicely next to our thing here. So there we go. You know, we can open up this already a little bit, make it nice and prepared, so that in a second I don't have to do all of that, right? I mean, a little more work now means a lot less work in a second, and that just sounds like a good deal to me. Okay, I've kept a close eye on it, and if you take a little look now, it is boiling, so it's done. So we're gonna whoosh, completely take off the heat. We're gonna once again take off our lid for the last time, and would you look at that? I know you cannot smell it right now, so let me tell it for you. It smells great. So we got our little thing here now, and what we're gonna be doing is taking a little scoop of this mixture that we kind of made, this soup, into this. and then we add some blades. We add another 2 scoops, and we add some blades. So let me show you how to do it. So we actually, let me just put it real nice and close. There we go. Be very prepared. Take a good spoonful. Oh, there we go. And you add it to this plate. Of course, you want it all to be nicely spread out. So let me just do that with my spoon right now. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna just let the spoon sit for a bit. And we take 4 blades of the lasagna. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. And then we have our first little layer, so to say. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take another big old spoon of our mixture, and we're gonna only add it to 1/2 of this. So we go here, we add it to this half right here. There we go. Make it all nicely spread out, of course, once again. And then we take another spoonful. Yes, I know. And we also add that in there. So this goes to the other half, of course. There we go. And now what you want to do, as you know, we had our blades this way around the first time. So we're going to put them this way around this time. So boom. That is 1 blade, 2, 3, and the last one, 4. There we go. And then we repeat the process until both our blades and our soup of lasagna sauce is all in there. So let's go. Okay, so now we have the last layer of sauce on top of here. Of course, you want to add end off on the sauce layer. So we got some blades left over, but no sauce. So we're not going to add any blades to it anymore. You want to, of course, make sure this is all nicely spread out like I'm doing right now. Make it all over the place. There we go. And this is looking pretty good to me. So what we're going to be doing now is adding in some cheese to all of this, because I like my lasagna to have a cheese topping, so to say. So we got the cheddar cheese that we were talking about in the beginning, and what we're going to be doing is adding this all over. So here we go. You want to slowly spread out the cheese all over. Of course, you want a nice layer of cheese on this thing that is basically even all around, right? You don't want a mountain of cheese here and no cheese here. You want it to be nicely and evenly spread. So there we go. And there we go. That looks like quite a nice pile of cheese on top of my lasagna right here. So now the most important last step there is, of course, is to put it into the oven. So we've already preheated the oven a little bit. As you can see, it's already on right now. So we're gonna open this bad boy up. Ooh, a lot of heat. And we're gonna take our lasagna. It's also already quite a little bit hot. And we're gonna be putting this into, it's really hot. Okay. We're gonna be putting this lasagna into the oven here. So let me just take this, boom, and shove it in there. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, boom. Okay, it's now in the oven, and we're gonna, of course, close the oven. And then you want the heat to be at 200 degrees for half an hour. So I know our thing kind of doesn't say half an hour anymore, but I'm pretty certain it's around here somewhere. So let's just, there we go. There we go. So yeah, you want to put it in the oven at this point, and then, you know, let it go be hot and stuff like that. And then once it's finished, we'll show you what it looks like when you take it out. Waboom! All right, the oven is now done. It's a little bit more than half an hour later now, and so the lasagna should be done as well. So we're gonna open the oven up. Ooh, it is quite hot, and it is smelling quite good as well. Oh my goodness! All right, let's just try and take it out. There we go. Boom! Oh yeah, that is looking pretty good if you were to ask me. And now what we're going to be doing now is we got, of course, some plates here, and we're going to be eating this up with 4 people around here. So we got a little thing here, and what we're gonna be doing is cutting this thing up in 4 pieces, of course. So we're just gonna move along the middle here, and this should be quite simple and nice, since you know each one of these 4 pieces has its own tower of the blades. So that makes it nice and simple. So I'm just gonna move around here like that. There we go. And now we have 4 pieces ready to be served. Now, of course, when you take a piece out, you want to first do the side part as well here. So there we go. And now I should be able to just scoop right underneath it, and boom, there we go. Look at that. That is a beautiful piece of lasagna. All right, nice. Now we're gonna do that, of course, with all the 4 pieces that you don't need to see. But yeah, there we go. That is it finished. There we have a beautiful lasagna. It smells good. It tastes good, I hope. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all learned something. Hope you all now will be able to make your own lasagna and feel great, because you know you get to eat lasagna and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and bye.